Go, son. Go, son.
Hey, welcome to Out of Bounds with Maria Carroll. Millions of NBA fans are yawning their way through this round 2 of the playoffs as 3 teams have so quickly been sent fishing. The Atlanta Hawks are probably relieved that the torture is over as Orlando completes that sweep. The Lakers sweep the Utah Jazz, the Suns sweep the San Antonio Spurs, and Steve Nash has officially stolen the rights to the name True Warrior from Mr. Ron Artest after his performance in Game 4. He gets knocked in the face by Tim Duncan's elbow, leaves the court bleeding, comes back with his eye basically swollen shut and stitched up with 6 stitches, but he still performs, still takes his team to the win and to the sweep, to the next round. So congratulations to the Suns. Only remaining series in round 2 is Cleveland-Boston, with Boston up 3-2 after last night's miserable performance by the Cavaliers and their leader. LeBron was held to 3 of 14 shooting. If you didn't watch the game, I'm sure you've heard the buzz by now. It's not just his shooting that's getting the criticism, it's the fact that he didn't compensate for his off night as far as shooting goes by driving to the basket or trying to get his teammates involved. He really just looked complacent. He looked unfocused. Looked like maybe he wanted to be elsewhere, like, I don't know, maybe New York. I mean, I know those rumors stopped, but you can't help but bring them back up when he plays a game like that. If it had nothing to do with his elbow, if his elbow wasn't torn, if the ligament in his elbow isn't torn, and this had everything to do with focus and his mindset, then you got to worry a little bit. Wasn't all his fault. The supporting cast didn't step up to their game either. Mo Williams, no match for Rajon Rondo. They switched his defensive assignment to Ray Allen, but he's no match for him either. Jameson and Ilgauskas, neither of them stepped up. Shaq was the leading scorer. No bueno. You do not want Shaq to be the leading scorer on your team unless we're watching footage from 5 years ago. Game 6 is Thursday at 8 p.m. If the Cavs have any chance of salvaging this series, they have got to stress defense. LeBron James has to do a complete 180 and be the player that they know he is. They've got to keep Rondo out of the paint because that's not only where he scores, but that is where he can create. And they better hope that Paul Pierce doesn't wake up. Otherwise, it can be Heartbreak City in Cleveland. Bill Simmons wrote a pretty funny article on ESPN.com, and he gave out some awards. I just have a few edits for him. He comes up with the Charles Smith Award for the best way to bum out a Knicks fan in less than 3 seconds. First of all, you already bummed me out as soon as you said the name Charles Smith. But anyway, he gives the award to the 2006 draft, in which the Knicks picked up Ronaldo Balkman when Rajon Rondo was available for next pick. And he also gives it to the 2010 draft, when we just took Jordan Hill, when Brandon Jennings was available at number 10. Now, silly Billy, us Knicks fans are not surprised by these things. You realize that we've been going through this since Frederick Weiss? I mean, heartbreak is our middle name. We don't expect a whole lot from the drafts. So, if you are going to give the award out, though, you've got to include the 2003 draft when we picked up Michael Sweeney. A lot of people probably don't even remember him, and it's because he was so quickly gone. But when we picked him, still on the board were Michael Pietrus, Boris Diaw, and David West, who I absolutely adore. So, and you can also prematurely put the 2010 draft pick on that list as well. Give it the award also, because that award is going to the Utah Jazz, courtesy of Stephon Marbury and his Vaseline-eating ass. Can't wait to see who we could have this year. Another award he gives out is the best return from the dead, and he gives this to the Lakers for their comeback. This, hands down, should have gone to Carmelo Anthony for the performance he had in the game against the Thunder when he played dead on the court, and then he came back from the dead just 5 minutes later. So that should have gone to him. He gives an award for the worst non-call to the officials of the Utah and LA series for missing a foul call on Wes Matthews when he basically pulled down Derek Fisher. It led to a turnover. Didn't cost them the game. This is not even close to the worst call. You got to go back a bit to the Celtics-Portland game that I told you guys about a while ago. The Blazers had 6 guys on the floor. That's the worst call ever. The refs did not realize there were 6 guys on the floor. The Blazers actually managed to score while there were 6 guys on the floor, and they counted the basket and kept it that way. So that's definitely the worst call. Charles Barkley's mouth lets loose yet again. Chuck says he won't miss San Antonio because of the women down there. He says, my ass would have looked normal down there. And Ernie Johnson just looks embarrassed for him when he does that. I mean, talk about the pot calling the kettle black. This is like as if Shaq was to criticize Dwight Howard for his free throw shooting percentage. Or if Stuart Scott was to tell Tracy McGrady there was something wrong with his eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chuck, I love you. You're my favorite player when I was a little girl, but you're fat. So for as long as the P90X is just collecting dust in your home, you really can't criticize the women of San Antonio. I will see you guys after Game 6 when the Cavaliers show their true colors. Take care.